Hey everybody, it's a crappy dappy Monday. What I mean is, it's raining, weather's cold-ish. It's not really cold, it's just wet. And sucks, period. And it's reverse Monday. What I mean by reverse Monday? Well, I gotta pull the running board back off. I'm gonna make some sort of supports. I'm probably just gonna weld some angle iron and box it in almost. That's about all I can do. Any kind of thick plate or anything that would make it sturdy would be too heavy. So I gotta run and get angle iron. I've gotta run and get other stuff. I'm sure I'm drawing a blank right now. I don't have that much to do. But yeah, this truck will probably be done this week. Unfortunately, the gauges don't get here till the end of the week. So it might be done, but it probably won't be done. So the list is pretty much small. I gotta wire the heat and AC. I gotta do the inner fenders in the back and the neck support. And then I gotta, of course, fix these running boards. So, fun. But again, like, share, and subscribe. Please watch this and the shorts. There's gonna be some 41 stuff coming up that I did yesterday. But I just didn't want to put it at the beginning of the video, so I'll put it later in the video. It's little stuff anyway. I'll probably save it to the end of the video. But as for now, I gotta go run. I gotta make a trip to town. But again, like, share, subscribe. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Got it all. Go check it out. Same name, Big Guy Garage. That's it for right now. I'm gonna take some measurements and go do my running. So I'm back, got my angle. This is 2x2. I was wanting like 1.5 by 1.5 inches, but they're sold out right now. And the way things are, you know, it's hard to get materials. So I'm going to pull the running board back off, put the 2x2 on. This was a 20-foot stick. Had it cut into 4 pieces, 4 5-footers, which should fit perfectly under there. And that 20-foot stick was $53. Yay! So, yeah, we'll pull this one off. We will put the angle on, weld it on. That should fix our problem. I mean, this stuff's pretty stout as far as, you know, support goes. But after that, we'll work on the other side, get it welded on, done. Then I'll be done with the running boards, and I'll start working my way back and do the inner fenders and the support in the center. Tomorrow I'll get the probe style fan switch for this, the LEDs for the turn signals, and figure out the wiring on the AC and heat unit, and then we'll just be waiting on gauges. That'll be it. We'll be done, basically. Yep, get paid, get this out, get the 41 in. So I knocked this side out. It's all done. It ain't going nowhere. Very sturdy now. Golden. So I ain't even touched the other side yet. I'm feeling a little under the weather. Probably because of the weather. But I'll do this side tomorrow. Knock it out. Depending on how fast I knock it out, is if I'm going to get to them back ones or not. But for now, I'm done today. Weather's got me feeling like cock-a-poopy. Alright, feeling a million times better today. So we're going to hammer out this side step rail. But, let me tell you something. You want to know how it's spring in Kentucky? Take a listen. You hear them frogs? When you hear them frogs, that means it's spring in Kentucky. In fact, it's going to be 81 degrees Thursday. Awesome. But, got it all opened up. Feeling nice. And we're going to hammer down on this step rail over here. Get it done, get it knocked out. This side's a little, it's not lower, but I guess you would say the gravel's higher on this side. So my jack stands don't exactly fit under this. Anywho, let's try not to bust this running board. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go and measure the other side and see what the drop down is on the front hanger. Place it, weld it, then I know it's the same because that frame is straight. Might even check the back side, measure it, put the same drop down on it, and our running board should be straight. Should be. That's the key word, should be. Anywho, that's the easiest way to knock these out. I know my one running board's got to be here because that's where I put that one, and the other one's like right here. But I can actually move this one back a little bit, but I shouldn't. Keep the distance or the bolts the same. So that's what I'm going to do now, is measure the other side. So I was going full bore on this side, almost done, ran out of welding wire. Come on. That's what happens, but I have another roll over here. I've been waiting. I usually like to keep a roll on hand because, you know, gas is one thing, but welding wire is another. You can prevent downtime by keeping welding wire on hand. Don't bother that stuff, but yeah. Ready to go. Just gotta push the everlast back, pull the Hobart forward, flip it open it, blah blah blah. But yeah, let's change out some welding wire real quick. Making pretty quick work out of these today. If you do one side, you can measure it out and match the other side, and it goes 100 times quicker. So that's what I did. This one's pretty much set up already. I have to put the angle iron on the outside and then the angle on the inside and weld it all up. I'm going to check CNC here. 1, 2, 2 spaces before the corner. 2, that's like 2.5. I'm going to pull it out. This side needs adjusted more outward, I believe. Yeah, the front's definitely got to come out and the rear's got to come in a little bit, but yeah, it's about as close to the same as I can get. You know, the cab could be a little further to one side and everything, so, but it's definitely going a lot quicker than guesstimating the other side, measuring it, welding it, holding stuff up. You know, it's a lot quicker this way. But yeah, this is the power cable. I need to run it up behind the running boards and then back to the battery, zip tie it all up. I need to zip tie all these wires up. I'll do that when I change the oil. I think after I get these done, we'll do the back and yeah, bleed the brakes, and I could probably test drive it. I don't think there's anything, technically once I get this step rail done, bleed the brakes, I could test drive it. No, I can't. Good thing I remembered. I got to get the fan probe done. I got to go get that later today for sure. We'll be real close to done, but let's finish these out. So as you guys saw, I just got all this done, notching and cutting and bending. This crap takes forever. My compressor's down again. I think the motor smoked on it this time, the electric motor, so I can't use my plasma. So basically I am at doing everything with a grinder. I hate it. I get so much grinding dust in my nose and hair and ears, and I don't want to wear hats or anything like that when I grind, but anywho, I just do it. So this is notched. The big notches are to go over the rail, and the small notches are for the bolts. That's just how I did it. Same way on the top, and I'll fully weld around here and then the front side too. So it puts all the strength right back into it. That's the same way I did it on this side. It worked good. I've been on those. I stand, you know. And if I'm standing, you guys can stand on it for sure. Because, yeah, this is in the 4 bill range, baby. I know. I don't look it. I'm super sexy, but that's just the way it is. So, yeah, I'm going to take a little break here so let my head stop ringing from grinding, and we'll jump back on it, start welding them on, and test fitting, then welding them on. But yeah, and by the way, I use 100% CO2 with 23,000 wire, and that is a Hobart Handler 187, and I'm gonna go kill this dog real quick. Now that the running boards are done on both sides, I'm going to be working on the inner fenders. I already have the hole that I cut out of there over here. Now I'm just going to cut a straight line and tack weld them to the fender lip right here on the inside. So I'm going to push it in and then weld the back side of it. Be done with it. Same thing to this side. And that'll probably be it for tonight. And tomorrow I'll make the brace that comes across here in the center, and we'll be done. I've already zip tied up my battery cables, got them all good. When I change the oil, I'll have to zip tie up all of the harness that's under the Studebaker, which ain't much, but got to get it all out of the way. Tomorrow I have to go get the probe for the radiator that turns on the fans, and I have to get the turn signals. Then after that, it's literally bleed the brakes, put gauges in, hook up AC, change oil, done. So oil change and brakes is like one day, done. Actually, if I get everything else done, I'm probably going to test drive it because I don't need gauges in it. I know it runs and drives good. But I need to test drive it, put the seat in, just to make sure that it's, you know, good. It should be good. I don't see a reason why it wouldn't be good. Oh yeah, dang, I forgot about the 1,000 holes I've got to put bolts in still. Dang it. But yeah, that's it. We're pretty much done with this. Well, I'm pretty much done with this. Oh, it's been a long time, I won't lie about that. But I stopped for a while, went to work for Potter for a couple of weeks, the guy who owns this truck. Then I got back on it and started hammering again. So, yeah, it's looking good though. You know, except for, you know, all the different colors. That ain't going to matter to me. But, other than that, as long as it drives good, it's done. You know what I'm saying? Gauges shouldn't be too hard. I ordered some electric gauges that I'm hoping to jump from the harness and make it work, and probably put them in that little center spot right here. I'm going to put the factories back in here. It's going to suck to do, but I'm going to do it. Alright, so those are done. Hammering down pretty good. Yeah, tomorrow I'll put the center support in. It gets welded to the frame and to them inner fender pieces, which is why I didn't fully weld the inner fender pieces. And yeah, all the fab. Let me think here before I say this. Yeah, all the fabrication should be done at that point. But we're trucking. Running board's done. Inner fender's done. Headlight wire's done. Taillight wiring done. Heat and AC installed. Yeah, I still gotta do the wiring for the heat and AC. Change the oil. Zip tie up them wires. Cooling fan. I'll fix them wires somehow. What else after that? Gauges. Done. You know, that's what's left. But that's it for me tonight. I'm going in. Alright, so I just got the blinkers soldered in their little holes. This is your blinker right here, just that little bitty light. That's how it is. Got the bezels on. I got to get some screws for it. They're like that long. Crazy screws. But now I got to stuff myself in this engine bay and solder the actual power and ground wires. Well, actually the power wire. The ground just gets ground to the body. But no big deal. That'll take me about 5 seconds. And then the headlights will be completely done. At that point, I'm going to move on to the probe. It's over here for the AC. Got to put it on. I got to wire it up, solder it together. I got to find a power, a ground, and an ignition. And that's it. Everything else will be good to go. Then up here, the front will be completely done. Thank God. I'm ready for this thing to be done now. After that, we'll work on bleeding the brakes. Well, those are done. Blink, blink, blink. Ready to move on to this crazy probe, which I'll probably pull this off and push it through that way and wire it and go through and around. But yeah, those are done. So what I'm running on here, this is a fan switch, but it's a probe style. Now what that means is it goes through the radiator. I put it directly below the top radiator hose, if you can see it down there, the little tip. So it's going to get the hottest water coming out. So it'll kick on probably sooner and cool better. So that's where I put it. I had to pull the latch off. It's right there. It comes with its whole harness and everything. Right here. But you got to wire it all up. No big deal. But it's a work in progress. I'm getting there. I had to take the fan shroud loose to get the probe through and get the clip on that holds it in. So no big deal. But that's about where I'm at right now. I got to mount the relay somewhere. Then have the fuses somewhere, you know, close by too. But it's like, let's see, you got a 12 volt constant power. You got your fan, the blue wires if you got dual fans. The brown goes to one side of the probe. A keyed 12 goes to the other side of the probe, which they send you a little wire for that. Then you got a black ground wire right here. And if you're running AC, this is your AC wire. So that's it. Easy peasy. But it's just a fight to get it in where I put it. So let's continue. So I got everything hooked up now. There's really just no way to show you like a B-roll of this or anything. Everything's all wired up, hooked up, and now I'm just testing to see, after it runs a while, does the fans kick on? Because if they don't kick on, what was the point in that thing, you know what I'm saying? But it should. There shouldn't be any problem. Yep. I had my test light out looking for a trigger wire. It was real easy, it was right there. But now just waiting for it to see if the fan kicks on. I'll cut you back on right here in a second if the fans decide to kick on. Got the gauges in today. This is really the only one I'm concerned about. I'm going to wire it up, and I have the cluster in from yesterday when I was checking to see if the fans kick on, which it does, but the gauge is reading like it's high. I don't know. The probe is still saying it's between one whatever. But anyway, that's the temperature it's reading is not the temperature in the radiator. It's actually the temperature right here is the temperature probe, not probe, but temperature switch for the car that reads the thermostat. So it's going to be higher there than it is coming into the actual radiator at first. So the problem being is, you know, if it's set, the gauge is reading like 210, 220, maybe even 230 before this is reading that it's 185 out here. Of course, that's how it works, but it kicks on. It cools down very quick, then kicks off. So it's working. It's just a little bit scary. But anyway, we're going to put this baby in today. Well, not in, but we're going to hot wire it up and see if it's reading the gauge right. What the factory gauge reads anyway. He wanted white face, chrome ring. That's what I got. So it takes a little harness in the back. Comes with the little, you know, what's it called there? I'll call it a catch. It's the mount, but it ain't really anything special. So again, though, these are like $60 for these 4. And I didn't really think about it, but man, I mean, we could have put all 5 in, get a speedo gauge, and hook it up there too, and put them where the old cluster was, and just like, you know, remount the center, and then, you know, put it in. I'm gonna actually look right now. I think I'm gonna try to put these in the center over here, right there. But I was curious. These are as small as you're gonna get. These are 2 1/8. So, oh man, I'm just gonna have to cut such a little bit off of that side over there. It might be open, more open, but yeah, literally like an 1/8 inch. These are 2 inch. They'd probably fit perfect, but they're going in there for sure. So nice. Comes with the harness plugged and everything. So let's get this thing in there and see if it works. This makes 0 sense to me, okay? This gauge is between 30 and 240. The S10 should run between 30 and 240. Okay, I hook up my ohms meter to this, and considering it's almost empty, it's running at about 38 right now, okay? But for some reason, when I hook up the gauge like this, it's going where it needs to be going. I turn it on. It goes instantly to full. Why? That makes no sense to me. It should work perfect. Now, I doubt it's going to sit there and go back. But it's just, it don't make any sense. That should be reading right now. It's the same ohms and everything. So I'm going to have to do some research here, try to figure this out. I even have it, look, lights. Everything else is working perfectly. that isn't. I don't understand why. Well, I know what the problem is now. This would probably be smart for if you're going to do anything like this to do, because you don't ever know. But ohmed out the fuel sender fuel level. It's actually 0 to 90. Most American cars are usually 33 to 240 ohms. This is 0 to 90. So I've got the wrong fuel pump, or fuel gauge. Nice. So I think Potter said he had another gauge. I'm gonna find out, and I'm gonna hook it up and see what happens. But for now, I'm screwed. So let's just sit this back in there until I can test it some more, and then we'll go from there. Try this one-handed. Okie dokie. Alright, I'm not gonna do this one-handed. Okay, so the fuel gauge failed, and it was technically my fault, and I'll tell you why. I didn't read up enough. I checked online to see what the ohms of this fuel, not pickup, sender is. Everything said 33 empty, 240 full. So the gauge instantly goes straight to full. Boom. So I'm like, okay, well, what the crap? So I pulled this whole fuel mech out, tested it. This is a 0 through 90 ohms. So I got the wrong gauge. My own fault. I thought, hey, American car, most American cars are that way. Well, it's actually 98 newer is that way, and 97 back is 0 through 90. No big deal. So the owner's got a couple of gauges I'm going to go get probably Monday. This will probably be the end of the video for this week, but go get them. I'm going to try them. Now, I did check the fuel or the oil pressure, and it works, so it's fine. But now we are literally down to bleeding the brakes, gauges, putting the seat in. I got to figure out the AC system still, too. And that's it. Yeah, it'll be done after that. It'll be done on my part, okay? So that's it. That's the end of the video this week. I feel like I killed it this week, even though it's only Friday. But we're getting stuff done. Now I'm sort of like in that part position, But, yeah, everything else is golden. Yeah, so tighten up the batteries, try to figure out the gauge situation, oil change, bleed brakes, figure out the AC. Done. Fans hooked up. That was pretty easy. Unfortunately, where the gauge reads the intake water temp instead of like the radiator temp, it's reading that the engine's actually at like the 220 range, maybe even 230, and the gauge or the probe is reading 185 on the radiator. So, I mean, the more you drive it, it'll circulate faster, so it'll have less time to get hot than just sitting at idle. You know what I'm saying? The truck like this ain't gonna be sitting idling for 30 minutes like I was doing just to see if the probe would kick on. So what else? Everything else is about basically done. So anyway, please still like, share, and subscribe. And I'm gonna go enjoy some TV, and maybe tomorrow I'll work on the 41, and that'll be in next week's video. But as for this, that's it for right now. That's it for my week.